after Christmas, but then before New Year's. It's like the days that don't really count. Am I right? That's how I feel. Oh, they count.
Oh, they
she
count.
says.
They count.
Oh, they count.
This is it. I think this is the most important week of the year.
I mean, this is go time. I was actually just saying to Krista, we're implementing a new 5 a.m. routine tomorrow while she's here. Back to our books. Actually, a book I'm going to recommend tonight for you guys. And we're just going to get into it. We're going to get into some stuff that I think everybody needs tonight. We're going to focus on closing with confidence and what that means and overcoming objections. Okay. So guys, I would like to see in the chat. Okay, I want this to be active. Okay, so put your phone down. Let's put your phone down. Let's pay attention. We're gonna want notepads out. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you guys some great tips tonight. Okay, this is recorded. So grab your notepad. We're gonna go over some objections. We're gonna go over closing with confidence, what that means to you. Now, first thing I want to ask in the chat is, I want you to rate yourself 1 to 10. Okay. 1 being like, okay, I can generate interest, but I'm losing everybody in the conversation. Like, I know my conversations with potential customers and potential distributors just aren't good. All the way to 10, where you're like, closing is my strength. Like, I can take an objection and I can flip it. I can take somebody, having a step back, and I can guide them in the right direction. Okay. So don't be shy. Put it in the chat. We're going to go over this tonight. Okay, we got 2s, we got 3s, we got 6s, we got 8s, 7s. I love it. Okay. So guys, first things I want to tell you is your conversations is going to be the key to this business. Okay. So you having a conversation successfully is going to be what moves the needle forward in getting sales and getting leads. You could have the most perfect content. You could have leads flowing in from things like host to post or, reels going off. How are you getting your most leads in the chat? Tell me, by the way. Is it through your posting? Is it your stories? Is it your host to post? Is it your reels? Is it your messaging, whatever it is. Okay. Now, once you get somebody that's interested in what you have, be it the product or the business, okay, you have to be able to take somebody from being interested to, the close. And being interested to the close is not always a one-step system. Statistically, most sales are actually closed after, what is it? It's like 8 to 21 times is statistically what people need to see or be followed up with before that person actually, closes. And so what we want to share with you tonight is ways that you can control that time, ways that you can shorten that time, things to do, things not to do, that are going to help you with this process. Okay. So first thing I want to go over, I've got some screenshots just to share with you guys, is closing with confidence. Okay. Now, what does this mean? Closing with confidence means that you are confident in what you have your hands on. Okay. That's like what it is. Like when you are confident with what you have, when you're confident with the service and the products that you have your hands on, this is going to portray through your energy, through your messages, through your voice. And closing with confidence is very important. So for example, like not closing with confidence would be something like, okay, Krista, just let me know if you're interested. And then from there, we'll just see if you're going to let me know. Okay. No one's going to let you know. Okay. Confidence is knowing how to take that person that is at the edge and being confident in your demeanor, and what you say to close that sale now or get a date for when they're ready to purchase or join. Okay. Now, the other thing that I need you guys to understand is confidence comes from not a rank, not a income, not a how long you've been doing this. Confidence comes from a few things. Number one, it's going to come from you doing it. Right. So like confidence is built. Remember that. What's something that you are very confident in this business? Maybe it's making reels, put it in the chat. Maybe it's, I'm confident in getting up and making, my coffee in the morning on my stories. Maybe it's you're confident in enrolling customers. Maybe it's you're confident in, what are you confident in your life doing? Right. Like think about the things that you do habitually, right? You're confident in doing the things that you do repetitively because you've done them over and over and over again. And that's what builds confidence, right? Now, the other part of confidence is going to stem from knowing what you have your hands on. Okay. Knowing what you have your hands on and what we have to offer people. Now, can you drop a 1 in the chat? Just Don't put a 1 if it's not true, but put a 1 in the chat if this business in some way, shape, or form has changed your life for the better. Financially, the people around you, you know, spiritually, growth wise, like anything that any way it's changed your life. Okay. I know for me, there's many ways that this business has blessed my life, so many ways. And so I am confident, even as a brand new person, in what I have my hands on, because I know that it's changed the life of so many people. Okay. So first thing we want to go over, closing with confidence. I'm going to give you a few tips. Krista, feel free to interrupt at any time. But the first part of closing with confidence is when you start talking to somebody that is a lead, right? A potential customer, a potential distributor. Okay. It's important for you to make a good first impression. Now, how do you make a good first impression when you're talking to a potential customer or a potential distributor? Now, in my opinion, it's starting the conversation with confidence and making your conversation about them. So I'm going to give you a couple situations. Let's say you meet somebody off a app. Okay. Maybe they commented on a cleanse app. Now you can message them and say, hey, I'm Jackie. I'm going to tell you about my cleanse. It's $57 and you're going to love it. And let me know what you think if I can send it over, whatever. Or you could be someone that says, hey, Sarah, I just saw your post on my friend, or I saw your comment on my friend's post. I would love to give you some information. I would love to tell you about this cleanse. It's actually one of my favorite products. It does X, Y, and Z. Would it be okay if I sent you over some information? Like, what are you specifically looking to do? Lose weight or detox, right? Do you guys see how by changing the way that you enter that conversation, there is more leverage on somebody being willing to talk to you, right? Instead of just being like, I'm just saying this to say this, you're saying it to find out what their needs are. Maybe your voice messaging so they can hear your voice. Maybe you're asking the questions for them to decide if what you have is going to allow them that conversation to go further. So make a good impression. Okay. Now, another thing that I think is really important, I'm just kind of taking this from some of these apply from a Tony Robbins seminar, is having your energy, like check your energy when you're talking to people. You know, I catch myself sometimes having the same conversation over and over and over and over again. And when we have the same conversation over and over and over and over again, what happens is we get into the routine of just saying it to say it. And energy is so important when it comes to generating leads and closing sales, because people need to feel what you're saying. So that's why we always say that voice messages or videos are like king, because what is the best way for somebody to feel your energy or feel your voice? It is by them hearing you, right? So yes, boards are awesome. You can even tweak a little bit in boards where you would say something like, okay, for example, let's say somebody commented on a gummies post, right? I could send them a voice message and say, hey, Krista, I just saw your post on my page. I'd love to give you info on the gummies. They're literally my favorite product. We can barely keep them on the shelf. They're clinically proven to shrink your waist, lower your BMI, and target stubborn belly fat. I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but why don't I send you a little write-up? Does that sound good? Boom, then send your boards, right? But do you see how just having that energy in front of it makes all the difference? Okay. Anything you want to add to that?
I was going to say just that personal connection, like she's talking about. And if you're brand new and maybe you're feeling like, hey, I don't have that confidence because I haven't tried the gummies, or I haven't tried the cleanse, or I've never signed a distributor. I want to say to you, number one, you can borrow the belief of somebody. Like, our team is full of people who the reason they're here is because their lives are transformed by using the products. Like, I lost 60 pounds, you guys. I'm obsessed with them. It's been almost 5 years. They're phenomenal. But that is not even the point. The point is the vision that you have. So like, I just say, let yourself fall in love. Like, let yourself get obsessed. Let yourself drink the Kool-Aid and go all in and be so freaking passionate, because that energy and that excitement is what is actually going to give you that confidence that you think, oh, I don't have that confidence because I haven't. But if you can even write down and journal, and this is something that I love to do, is actually to give myself a new vision of who are the people I'm looking for and how do I want to add value? How do I want to help people? Because that's going to help you in those conversations too. Because like, I met a guy on the plane today, randomly from my hometown, who actually graduated from the same high school as me like a year later. I've never met him. It was so bizarre, but literally had this amazing conversation about network marketing and about the business. And he's super excited to join my team. We had no Wi-Fi in there, but he's super excited because I was excited not because I wasn't like, oh, I've made so much money with network marketing and blah, blah, blah. No, I told him where I was going. I told him, I described in detail the kind of people I wanted to work with. And he mentally was checking off the boxes of like, oh, I'm that kind of person. Oh, that sounds good to me. I want to be that, right? So the more detailed you can be in the person that you actually want to work with, for example, for distributors, or more detailed in the type of person you want to help through our products, the more you speak passionately and you're casting that vision for them. And that is going to give you, again, that confidence that helps you to seal the deal.
Yeah, I love that. And if you're on, feel free to turn on your cameras and swiping through. There's still a lot of names.
Because also
We
that
love
shares
it.
your energy with
Yes,
us.
we need the
right?
energy back.
Yes.
Not iPhone. That's me. Okay. Now another tip that we have for closing with confidence is making sure you're asking the right questions. Okay. This is a big one. Now, if you feel like you're having conversations with people, but you're losing them, put a 1 in that. If that's you, you get someone interested or someone messages you and they're like, tell me what you're doing about, like, tell me what you're doing or whatever. And then you just word vomit. I remember doing this at the beginning of my business. It's just like, well, here's the ingredients and here's where they're sourced and here's what a customer is and here is this. And like, you're just like trying to tell them everything. You have to learn to improve your communication skills. Honestly, it's one of the biggest like blessings of this business is learning a skill like this. I mean, I learned this working in TELUS. One of the biggest tips that I'll give you is when you are in sales, when you're looking to generate a lead, the conversation should be more of you listening than talking, right? We get in this like mode of, okay, I got to explain everything to them. I've got to tell them every single thing that they would want to know. The best piece of advice I have you is ask open-ended questions for one, and then don't answer anything that they're not asking you, right? Like if somebody is not asking you what the ingredients and the greens are, don't tell them the ingredients and the greens. And it's not that we're trying to like not have them know the ingredients and the greens. It's just that they might not care about the ingredients and the greens. They might just be like, well, I know it's more than I'm taking right now when I don't eat my vegetables. So that's a win, right? If people will ask you what questions are important to them, but in order for you to close, in order for you to have confidence in your sale, in your close, you want to be asking open-ended questions. So let me show you what I mean by this. Let's say, for example, we had a post go up about maybe a product, the gummies. Okay. So at this point, we've explained the gummies, they know the pricing, they're still interested. How do you take this person that's interested now to the close? How do you do this confidently? So I would say something like this. Okay, Kim, well, unless you have any more questions for me, I'd love to help you get your order in. I'm sitting at the computer right now doing it. Would you like me to process the order for you, or would you prefer to walk through my website? Right? Do you guys see how that's a confident close? I'm giving you an option, A or B. I'm not like, hey, Kim, let me know when you have 5 minutes later, 5 years from now, and then we'll get on together and do it. No, I'm giving you an option now or now, right? Now, if let's say, for example, you give someone the price. Okay. So, I've given you the cleanse price, you see it right in front of you and they go, okay. Right. Anyone ever like you give them the script and then they're like, they just like don't stay on script and you're like,
It's not the script.
This is not the script. Stick to the script, man.
Why are you sending a thumbs up?
Thumbs up is not part of the script. So you need to know how to be able to take that conversation and bring it back up again. So some of my favorite lines, write this down. What questions can I answer for you? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I'm not ready, 10 being I'm ready right now, where are you? I'm a 6. What's going to help you get from a 6 to a 10? Okay, money, no problem. When is a better time to follow up? Like, what I want you guys to realize is these conversations you're having, people get so emotional in the hit or miss of the sale. This is a journey. It's not a hit or miss. Drop it in the chat how long it took you to get started in this business, okay? It's not a hit or a miss. It is a journey. Okay. So people need to have the qualifying questions asked, and then they need to watch, and then they need to be followed up with, and then they need to watch. And so it's really learning the art of your of your communication skills. How can you take an open-ended question and, make it make it sprout again, right? How can you take a dead conversation and redirect it to where you want it to go? And it's going to be open-ended. It's going to be open-ended questions. And when they're ready to get started, it's giving them an option to do A or B. Hey, did you have any more questions I can answer for you, or are you ready to get your order in? You guys assume the sale. Like, I'm not beating around the bush. People don't want you to beat around the bush. If somebody tells me they're interested, if somebody's gotten as far as the price with me, you are either going in my phone as a lead or you are ordering, right? So don't be scared to do that. Okay. Now, another thing that I want to add on to this too is like leveraging what you have around you to be better in things like communication and things like closing and things like overcoming objections. And what I mean by that is podcasts. It's, books, right? Like there's sales training books, Tony Robbins seminars you can get for free that literally will go over specifics like closing. Grant Cardone has a ton of them, specifics like closing. So you will be more confident in your closing, A, the more that you do it, for one, but B, when you surround yourself with people that are teaching that to you. Like I've told this story before, but before I did It Works, I was a sales rep for TELUS. And I remember that when I started doing business to business calls, they had me in a room and like they just had me call, and they would record it and listen to it. And I would listen to somebody else do it. And then I would do one and they would record it. And I literally just got good at it because I was doing it habitually. And so the great thing about network marketing is you are having conversations all day. And if you're not having conversations with people, new people, that's where you have to start because that's where you're going to learn the skill. Okay.
There's a great book called Rejection Proof that really illustrates that point very well. This guy literally did like 100 things, 100 days of like just asking people for things or to do things that he would just like go to someone's random house, knock on their door and ask if he could play soccer in their backyard. And like, because his intention was to rejection proof himself so that he would stop holding back and the amazing opportunities that happened for him as a result of pushing himself out of that comfort zone. Another great book to listen to or read is called Go for No. And the interesting thing about that is psychologically, like even especially if you're kind of naturally good at like getting a sale or naturally good at closing, what can happen is, and with any talent breeds laziness, right? Because you don't have to try that hard. So this book, Go for No, he talks about how and I hope I'm remembering the right name of the book. Sorry, it's been a while, but the premise of it was basically like he would get a yes on Monday and he knew that he had to meet a quota of like, close 4 of these sales by Thursday or by Friday. But because he did good on Monday, he slacked off and then he had golf booked on Wednesday and blah, blah, blah. But then he ended up like, totally, he like dropped the ball and couldn't like complete because he went for the yes instead of his mindset shifting to being like, if you think about it, oh, I need 4 yeses versus I need 100 no's before I quit working. Imagine how much more he would have had to work to get through 100 no's if he was that good at closing, right? So it's just like a total mindset shift of like, go for the no instead of the yes, because the yes might get you one easy win, but you could have done so much more with your potential if you would have pushed for the no's.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was Go for No.
And the other one was called Rejection Proof.
Rejection Proof and Go for No. So you can get those books, audibles, whichever. So let's talk about some objections that we get typically in this business. And I'm just going to show you how I walk through them. Because we all are probably getting the same, like who gets objections, who's in conversations and gets objections. Drop it in the chat. What are some objections that you get on the regular? Like, give me some examples. You can, if it's like more in depth, you can unmute, you can tell me specifics. And I am going to just tell you how I would personally full circle respond. Okay. I have our thread from the other week, but I'll start with some in here. So, okay. So one of the ones that we're going to see a lot is we don't have the money. Okay. So let's pretend we're talking about potential distributors. Okay. So remember, in order for us to be able to get a no, we have to be able to lead up to the no. So leading up to the no looks like doing the things every day, the KPI list to grow your network, the postings that you put out, the content, the conversations, doing these things over and over and over again will lead you to having a conversation where someone's either going to say, yes, I'm ready to join, or objection. Okay. So that's happening a lot with the business, right? Maybe you're posting about the business. Maybe you're offering after host to post. You're messaging people, asking if they'd be willing to check it out. You're using the make money from home page. And then they watch the video. They're super fired up. And then you say, just like we taught you. Okay, awesome. I'm so excited and grateful to help you. I can't wait to help serve you. I'm just putting orders in now. Would you like me to help you, process your kit for you or walk you through the website? I don't have the money. Okay. So then everyone's like, oh, they don't have the money. That's a no. No, I didn't have the money. Okay. For 3 years, I didn't have the money. And imagine if the person that followed up with me for 3 years just said, okay, well, Jackie's a write-off. She would have missed out on enrolling, one of the top earners in this company. Okay. So don't have the money. This is what I do. I would voice message that person. Okay. So if someone says, Jack, I'm ready to go, but I don't have the money, I would message back and I would say, Lindsay, I totally get it. Guys, feel free to take some notes. Lindsay, I totally get it. When I started this business 5 years ago, I did not have the money to start either. And the thing is that what I realized for myself was I was working 60 hours a week at 2 jobs, 6 days a week, and I still didn't have even $100 to put towards anything I wanted. And that's when I realized that I couldn't afford not to do something like this. And so I, put the money on a credit card and I use that as my, like, come hell or high water. I am not quitting. I am not nothing until I make money from this, because I didn't have the money to lose. But I knew that if I stayed in the same spot, like, my life was never going to change. And I would say that to people. I would never be telling Lindsay what to do, or I would never be telling, Kim what to do. I'm just relating to her. I'm like, dude, that was the same as me. I tell a story. I'm like, I was working 2 jobs. Does anyone relate to this? You can drop a 1 in the chat. Anyone relate to this? I'm working 2 jobs. My fiance is working all the time. I still don't have money left over. I've been broke for years. Okay. That's what led me to deciding that I needed to do something like this. So I totally understand you don't have the money now. I want to be here to help you when you're ready. When is a better time for me to follow up with you? I will put you in my calendar and reserve you a spot. Now, what you've done there is you've got a date from somebody. You've got a better time to follow up. So maybe Hannah says, well, I'm ready to go next Friday. That's my payday. Okay, this is where you as a business owner, you as the distributor, it is not up to Hannah to follow up with me. It is up to me to follow up with Hannah. Now, listen, I want to say this on here too. You do not own people. Okay. So you know what could happen? Krista could be working a business and pop up on Hannah's For You page, and I forgot to follow up with Hannah, and she sees Krista and it's the time to shine. It's happened to me on both ends and it sucks. Anybody ever have that happen to them? Same. Okay. I forgot to follow up. It was not Hannah's job. It was my job. Now she signs with Krista. Okay. Make sure that you're getting a date from someone. Okay. Now following up, right? Hey, Hannah, it's Friday. I've been holding the spot for you. I'm so excited to help you get started. I'm just getting orders in now. Let me know if you're ready. Let me ask you quick, how much money are you looking to make? Right? Like, I'm giving them the vision. I'm like taking them that next step. I'm like, hey girl, I'm here. I know you said Friday. I'm ready to start with you here. What are you looking to do? Okay. Give them the vision. Okay, good. Now you're ready to get your order in. So what's going to happen is we're going to get your order in. It takes about 5 minutes. I can either do it for you or walk you through. I'm going to get you in our onboarding trading right away. And we're going to work with you right now to figure out how much you need to make and what your goal is. And we're going to work hand in hand. Sound good? End with a question, right? Now, you might have that cycle happen a few times, right? You might have Hannah on Friday say, oh my gosh, I had something come up. Guys, this is what I did for 3 years. But when you can be organized in the people that you've talked to, can I just tell you one thing? If someone tells you one time they want to make money, grow their hair, lose weight, have more energy, detox their skin, whatever it is, they want to do it until they do it. And so are you going to be the person that follows up with them and shows them that you're there and that you're a person of value, right? The amount of money that you make is directly related to the value that you're bringing your network, right? So when I was building my business, I was asking myself, like, am I, as a new person building to diamond, giving people value on social media to make them want to invest with me? And that's just not posting with the business. That's like, hey, am I being that relatable mom showing that I'm like carrying a baby and like trying to talk to someone about a business and it's like funny, or whatever it is, whatever your niche is, right? Like, are you bringing value? And as you continue to generate those lists of people, guys, seeds plant at different times, seeds harvest at different times. You'll have some people that you'll talk to once and they'll join you. You have other people that take years, right?
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to that?
I totally lost my train of thought. I probably had 13 thoughts in there. I'm just like, I'm not an interrupter. I'm like, okay, yeah. Sorry, guys.
Well, you can interrupt.
Yeah.
You just tap me out. But Okay, guys, no money. That's a big one. Having no money. Okay. We all get this. We all get the no money thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Everybody
Everybody gets it.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm gonna add. You
Yeah.
know what? Everybody has no money except. And for me, I always think that I just see that as, if they're not ready today because they have no money, it means that my job and part of the way I follow up is to build their belief in it. Because when you believe enough, it doesn't matter how much money's in your bank account. I don't have the money. I didn't have money to order a cleanse when I ordered a cleanse. Like, I didn't have any money, but. And it's that but. And really what's holding them back isn't the lack of money 9 out of 10 times. It's the fear.
Yeah.
It's the fear that they're going to make a fool of themselves. They're not going to be successful. They're not going to make money, right? They're not, and so that's why the things that you're posting and the way that you're messaging with them in the meantime is so important, that piece of follow-up, because it's showing that you are relatable. It's showing that they don't have to be, whatever is in their mind of what they think. And so sometimes it's just breaking down that obstacle or that barrier of, well, who are they perceiving me to be on my social media that they think they couldn't do that? And so sometimes that's just a really good insight of what am I presenting as that thing, right? And so being really relatable, like Jackie was saying, is actually a really key part of following that up and breaking that obstacle down, breaking that barrier down.
Yeah. And I think too, like, you have to remember the magic in your business is literally going to come from the content that you put out, what people see on your page or your stories or your whatever, but also in your conversations. And so, like, when I'm talking to people that are like, I don't have the money or whatever, I am literally talking about that in my stories. Like, I would be in my stories and I'd say, you know what, I'm talking to so many people right now that know they want to do the business, they know they need to make money, but they don't have money to get started. And so here's my answer to that. And I answer their objections based on my story. So when they see it and hear it, they're like, oh, that fits exactly what I'm talking about. So I'd be like, you know what, I used to work 60 hours a week. I worked at 2 jobs. I worked all the time. And I looked at this business and we were in a lot of debt and I had 0 time and I wanted to do it, but I had no money to invest. And so what I realized was, like, I needed to do something different. I couldn't afford not to have this business. I couldn't afford not to have a side hustle. And so when I kept saying stuff like that on my page, and then again, taking people on a journey, this is why I say consistency is so king in this business. I share that one week. The next week I shared that I got a 4-in-1 and I put $150 in my bank account. And I'm so grateful because now I can take a night off the restaurant and be home with my kid. The people that are watching that I don't have the money, they're watching me generate sales. They're watching me sign a customer. They're watching me, man, even if you haven't signed somebody welcomes a distributor to your team, share that on your story and say, I'm so excited for Jordan, because she's about to get started in business and she wants to make a little bit of part-time money. She's a student. And you guys, all of a sudden, like, just like Krista said, people's believe-a-meter starts growing and they value what you're doing more. And so I don't have the money. I am, there's different ways you can say this, but I always just really put it out there. Like, that's why you do a business like this. I'm not scared to tell people, like, you think we're all hanging out here because we just got an abundance of time and money? Absolutely not. We started this business to make money. Yeah. Right. And I, like, guys, look at the world we're living in. Like, can we just take a minute, whatever side of the whatever that you're on, like, the inflation is happening. Am I right or am I right? Inflation is happening. Do we feel it in the grocery stores? Do we feel it when we look at our mortgage rates? Do we feel it around us? Do we feel it in the gas bills? Yes. Can I get a yes if we're like in the chat? Yes. Okay, we feel it. So people need to be in the mindset of, this is not like a liability. Like, this is something that can actually get you out of that situation. And so this is, as a business owner, where you start sharing this. Becky shared with me right before Christmas. She's like, man, I just drop it in the chat. Like, what was your last 4 and a friend bonus? Okay, when drop it in the chat. Was it 150? Was it 250? I'm just going to shout out Becky. Becky messaged me right before Christmas and she was like, Jackie, like, I just got a $500 bonus right before Christmas. Like, I'm literally crying because this is right before Christmas and I wasn't expecting it. And I'm like, that is what you have to be posting, right? Like, people need to see the value. And when you post what's happening for you and your team and your people, they see themselves in you. They see themselves in your team. And it's the repetitiveness of that. It's not doing it once. It's not doing it twice. Like, when you see someone in a chat shouting out that they got a bonus, you should be screenshotting that and, like, talking about it in your story. That's how people That is how people move their believe in meter along. Okay. So not having money, you know, I would show every little thing that this business does for you. If you get up, you know, some groceries because of a weekly bonus, if you, you know, if financially this business is benefiting you, you should be talking about it. If it's putting your kids in sports, you should be talking about it. Like, people need to know that you have the solution to the problem. Okay. So, all right, let's go down. So no time, no money, too busy. Okay, this is another one that we get a lot, probably for a potential distributor. Oh, I'm too busy to do this. Okay. So how I would respond to this person in a message is, again, I'm voice messaging. There's no scripts for this. I want to teach you guys literally how I talk. Okay. So if someone was in a conversation with me and they said, well, you know what, I really need the income, but I'm too busy, my answer would be, listen, okay, here's the crazy thing. We literally all have 24 hours in a day. We do. Time is the only thing that we can't speed up, slow down, back up, you know, fast forward. It is what it is. And so because we all have 24 hours in a day, we get to decide how we spend those 24 hours. And I don't know, this is what I'd say. I don't know your story, but I know for me, when I was like working 60 hours a week and I was broke and I was working 2 jobs and I was frustrated with the way things were going, I spent so much time doing busy work. I was scrolling on TikTok. I was scrolling on Snapchat. Drop a 2 in the chat if you are guilty and you feel under attack right now. I know some of you do it. We're not too busy. We just I just had to learn where to prioritize my time. And I would say to people, like, listen, I'm saying this from a place of like being there. I just got so angry with not being able to like afford the things that I wanted, that I was willing to give up time that was not moving me forward to invest in little pockets of time to do a business. Right. You know, I work this business when I'm on my way to my second job. Like, instead of scrolling, I'm learning the business. And, you know, this business can be built in little increments of the day. Now, the mindset you have to have, though, is that somebody reading that and having this conversation with you might not think, oh, okay, you're right, I'm going to sign up. But that is in their head now. Now that seed is planted. Now, how you harvest objections, right? So how you harvest an objection that somebody has had is what you are creating in your content through your stories and your posts. So for example, maybe you're out at the kids' soccer game. Okay, maybe you're out doing whatever. Maybe you're traveling. Maybe you're living your life at home. Maybe you're at your job. And then guess what? Maybe you sign a customer. Well, what if you took that little email, that little connect notification, and you put it on your story and you said, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm literally walking into the grocery store between my 2 jobs right now. I helped my friend get started on our 2-day herbal cleanse. I'm obsessed with making money online. The busiest people can do this. I'm obsessed. If you would benefit from an extra income, but you're too busy to get a 3rd job, put teach me in the comments. Like, now that person that's reading that, do you see how you're just solving solutions for people all day? Does that make a yes? Does that make sense? Put yes in the chat. Anything you want to add for too busy?
You know what? I was going to say, some of us, I'm just going to call this out. Some of us have a hard time with the objections because we're still living in them. I'm going to say that again. Some of us have a hard time with the objections because we're still living it. So if you keep telling yourself, I can't afford it, I don't have time, how are you going to share that with somebody else? Right? So what I would say to you, and I think this is a perfect time, and this is like, actually, I'm going to give this homework assignment tonight, because you got all tonight that you're still going to waste some more time tonight. So you got that time. And then we got found time tomorrow. Okay. Before the 28th. So tonight, tomorrow, we have this whole onboarding system. If you have not gone through it piece by piece, as though you just signed up today and then this link was sent to you, you need to do that, because by doing the process, you will build your own confidence. You will unlock a confidence inside of you, because you will be so excited that you actually have a system, and you're so pumped because you know exactly what to do when they sign up with you, and you know they're going to get results if they just follow the system, and you're so pumped because it's so clear, and that confidence, but it comes from you doing it. It comes from you doing it. You can't borrow that confidence without, and just being like, okay, I have this link, but I have no idea what I'm actually sending you. Right? Because that compromises your integrity. So internally, you're getting a no. Right? So when you can be consistent with your own actions of going, hey, you know what? I couldn't afford it either, but I realize that I have my hands on gold, and I run my auto shipment between the 1st and the 5th every month because I know I have my hands on gold and I can sell sample cash, and I'm going to teach you how. Suddenly there's an unlock because that's in the training, little cheater tip. Okay. So you unlock that confidence by actually taking the steps that are in there and following along with it step by step.
Mhm.
Does that make sense, you guys?
Yes, that's so good.
Drop a 1 if you've already completed the onboarding process from start to finish, every single piece of it.
And there's a lot of you that haven't, because I can tell, because there's a spot that shows me. So like, don't
Be
even,
honest.
don't
Don't
even
be dropping 1s willy-nilly, guys.
yeah, like don't even lie about it. And like, just, and it's been Christmas, whatever, like,
Yeah.
but go do it
But
for real.
prioritize it.
Because this is the onboarding that we're using for our new distributors. And if you want to have duplication, go through it. Like, it's good. Okay. So, okay, let's go back up to another question that we get. So one of the ones that I saw was, have no time, no money, too busy, I'm getting paid later. Okay, so I'm getting paid later, no money, kind of the same thing. My biggest tip is to get a date from them and put them in your calendar and reserve you a spot. However that work, like, guys, you need, okay, let me tell you this, especially if you have not been doing this in the last couple days, you need a hundreds list. You need a book or something, or a calendar, or a place in your phone where you have leads that have talked to you and shown interest in what you have, especially for what's coming on the 28th. So for example, Brenda said somebody's getting paid later. I would be writing their name down, and I would be going to the book, and I would be saying, no worries, Brenda, I'm going to put you in my calendar and reserve you a spot. When is the best day to follow up with you? Okay, Friday the 10th. Perfect. I put a reminder in my phone. You better follow up with her, right? Have that in the thing, check it every day, build that into a routine for yourself. And that's how you're going to do it. Okay. So can't afford it, guys. Same thing. Just relate. Like, who else couldn't afford this business when they started? Like, and if you could use my story as an example, just be like, man, my friend Jackie was working 60 hours a week. Okay. Couldn't even afford an extra $100 for herself. That told her that her plan A was not working, and she had to figure out a way to make it work. She couldn't afford not to do it. And so now, she put it on a credit card. She sold stuff, whatever it is that you recommend. And now she's in this business, and she hasn't had to go back to work for 6 years. Like, I am not scared to say to someone, in order to get different, you have to do different. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. And I don't say that in a cocky way. Like, when I'm saying this to you right now, you probably don't feel like personally attacked. You probably feel like, oh yeah, like that's true. That makes sense. Right. And so when I say things like this, I'm planting a seed in people. I remember specifically the seeds that my enroller planted in my head. Things like, when I said, I don't know enough people, I can't do this, I can't be successful. She could have easily said, oh yeah, well, you're right. You know what she said to me? Girl, that doesn't matter. This is on social media. She's like, I'm going to show you how to build a business all over. Me and you don't even know each other. Like, do you guys see how, as a business owner, you're solving solutions for people? People are coming to you with their problems. You're giving them the solution. Girl, you don't even need to know people. You could literally start building your business in Texas while you live in Canada, and I'll show you what to do. Does that sound like something that would benefit you? Like, again, open-ended question. If I could show you how to do that, would you be open to checking it out? Do you see how that went from a no to like, okay, now we're back in the conversation. Okay. Flat out not interested. Okay, I don't push people. I don't convince people. There are 8 billion people on this planet. If I have to convince you to join, I have to convince you to work, and I am not down to do that. Okay.
No, thanks.
So if they're not interested, I would just say, no worries. I totally appreciate you getting back to me. Side note, would you like to enter my giveaway? Like, get them to half, right? No money, too expensive. Here's another thing too. Like, if somebody always doesn't have the money, and I would consider myself somebody that always never had the money, what you post is another way to follow up with people. So for example, if Krista came to me and said, I don't have the money, I want to join, I know I need to, but I simply don't have the money, I could really be in Krista's inbox every 30 days being like, do you have the money yet? No. Do you have the money yet? No. But that's probably not going to be effective. But what I could do is okay, Krista's a lead. Krista's someone that wants what we have. Let me spend some time interacting with her on her page and, checking in with her. But maybe in my posting, I say things like, what was the objection? Didn't have money?
Didn't have the money.
like maybe I'm saying, I talk to people all the time, you guys, that want what I have, but like don't have the money to get started. And I was there, or this person was there. And what I want to say is there's always a way around. You just have to be willing to go get it. Like you have to be willing to do things a little bit different if you want more. And it's uncomfortable. And sometimes you got to pick up that extra shift, or you got to sacrifice a little bit. But I was willing to sacrifice to be able to move myself ahead. So do you guys see how, pretend I'm a brand new distributor. I haven't made almost 2 million in this business. I'm brand new. And I said, you know what, Krista, I was in the same spot, but I actually decided to make that sacrifice because I knew that if I didn't, I would be staying in the exact same spot. And I don't know your situation, but my situation, if I'm here in a year, I'm freaking out. And I don't know about you, right? So then that person's now thinking about themselves like, I don't want to be in the same spot. I got to move different. What starts to happen is people put value on what you have to offer them. Here's the secret. People have $99. People have $149. Okay. Has anybody said no to something before, like paying a bill, but then you were like, but Little Caesars is not Little Caesars, Baselines has pints on for 2 for $16. And my girls are going out. Let's go to get some dinner and drinks. Come on.
We find money.
We find money. We find money for what's important to us. Right. So how do we make something important to someone? We give them the value that they need, right? So I didn't know that the value that I needed was finding a way to be home with 2 kids. I didn't even know that that was a possibility. And so when you find who you're talking to and what solution you have because of this business, their desire for what you have goes up. Your follow-up process goes up. Do you guys see how that makes sense? Okay. So it's a scam. I like to make jokes out of this one. It's a scam. Okay. You think it's a scam. I don't argue with people. I mean, sometimes I do. Let's be honest.
I don't argue with people.
Krista does it. Sometimes someone catches me in a spicy mood. My favorite one, they're like, this is a pyramid scheme. And I go, what is a pyramid scheme? And they're like, it's this thing where people sell things and then they make money. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so crazy. I'm like, so what do you do for work? And they're like, well, I work at a, wherever. Right. And then I'm like, oh, so you have a boss and then they have bosses and then,
does anybody up there make more money than you? Anybody?
Like, that sounds like a pyramid scheme. No, but it's funny to me, right? They're like, when you sell things, and I'm like, that's so funny. Because if you go to Google and you type in what is a pyramid scheme, it's an illegal investment with zero product. Good news. We're actually product focused. And secondly, we're not illegal. We've been around for 20 years. We're literally in Forbes magazine. Like, I think our friends at Forbes magazine are doing their due diligence over user 753 on TikTok who doesn't even know what the hell they're talking about. Okay. So sorry. That's just how I kind of make a joke of it. Don't get into it with people. People could look at you and say the sky is purple. And if you know that the sky is blue, you just don't care that they think it's purple. Okay. Carry on. Go enjoy your purple sky.
Can I talk about this one here?
Yes.
Robin says, have you tried these products and know for a fact they work? If that is an objection that you get, I always liken using products like getting a gym membership. Like, how many times do you walk into a gym and be like, does this gym work? No, I didn't show up, or I didn't lift the weights, or I didn't live the lifestyle. No, we have clinical studies attached to the ingredients in the products. The products work. They get results. We have the before and after pictures. We have thousands and thousands of testimonies. The products work. The question is, are you here for your health? Do you want to see a difference? This is what, like, I say to people, like, do you want to actually see a difference? So I'm committed to helping you discover the key for your health. So, like, that's where, again, asking those open-ended questions is so important, because what are they really afraid of? Have you tried these products and know for a fact they work? What they're really telling you is, I've tried a lot of other things and they didn't work. But what they're really saying is, like, maybe I have a McDonald's habit, or maybe I make a lot of bad choices after 8 p.m. at night, or maybe whatever it is for them, right? Like, we all have our stuff. So being curious and saying, hey, have you tried something before that didn't work for you? Instead of getting defensive about your products and your system and the things that we know are really awesome about our company, I get curious and be like, hey, have you tried something before that didn't work for you? Because it sounds like maybe, you're concerned about something, because I've had an incredible experience, or we have thousands and thousands of testimonies on these. So I'm just curious. Again, be curious. Mm-hmm. I'm curious, have you had a negative experience, or have you tried something else? Tell me about it. Because then when they say to you, yeah, I did Weight Watchers and I gained all the weight back, or I did this, and then you can speak specifically to those questions, to those fears that they're having, and overcome the obstacle. But as long as you're kind of like just stuck at the, well, they said this to me, so I don't know, do the products work, right? And then you get that kind of deer in the headlights idea, and then it feels like they're attacking your integrity, going, oh, they don't think my products work, I know they do, you know. Or maybe you're scared and you think, do the products work? I know I just signed up for this business. Do the products work? Yes, 1,000% they do. These are like incredible supplements that are going to actually amplify your results. They have top of the line ingredients at reasonable prices. Like if you shopped and compared anywhere, like of going, okay, I could get this level of ingredient and all of these things. Like my favorite example is like if you went and shopped organically for all the ingredients that in our greens, like go ahead and go bankrupt or order the greens, right? Like if you want the nutritional benefits of those things, like if you even ask, do the greens work? Well, that's kind of a ridiculous question. That's like, does science work? I don't know. Does putting all this nutritional goodness that easily absorbs into my body work when I've been living a certain other lifestyle? Of course it's going to work. Of course it's going to do what your body's designed to do and absorb all that, goodness. But I think it just comes down to being curious and asking those open-ended questions again.
Yeah. And then when you guys ask that, like, I feel some of us are so like focused on the script, where the open-ended questions is going to give you what they're actually looking for. And the more conversations you have, the more you're going to direct whatever their answer is to fulfill their need. Right. So like by opening those doors, you're able to like really help them better. Okay.
Oh, I'm going to say use your auto shipment each month as product research.
Mhm.
This is your business. I have literally over the last 5 years, I have tried every single product that we have.
Mhm.
I have products I order every month because I can't live without them, but I try something new all the time. Like as long as it's available in my country and even the US, I've ordered stuff from the US, but like I've tried it because then I can actually say, oh, you know what? I made this recipe with that. Oh, you know what? When I tried this, I noticed this and it made me feel like this. And, then you're speaking again, it builds that confidence because you have had a personal experience, right? But again, if you use that to build your belief, use your auto shipment to get product knowledge, to get that firsthand stuff, right?
Mhm. Yeah, I love that.
And to make cash.
So lack of belief in themselves, I think this is really common. Like, I have people all the time that have watched me and they're like, I really want to do what you do, but I'm scared. Okay. And I'll just be honest with you guys. I don't have like a copy and paste script for that. I'm just voice messaging people. If someone said, okay, I'm terrified, I want to get started, I've watched the video on the Make Money from Home page, but I'm scared. This is just straight up what I'd say. Okay. Maybe if you guys want to get your phones out right now and just record what I'm about to say, because I'm going to say it exactly as I would. Okay. So feel free. Don't drop the baby. Don't drop the baby. Don't drop the baby. I'm just joking. You're nailing it. Okay. I'll give everybody a couple seconds. And guys, if you have any other objections that you want me to just really quickly do again, so you can have these in your phone, just let me know. But what was the one I was just gonna do? I forget.
They're scared.
They're scared. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So someone says, Jackie, I want to do what you do, but I'm scared. Okay. So I would pick up the phone, I would voice message them, and I would say something like, okay, Krista, listen, I know you're scared. And honestly, if you weren't scared, I would probably think that you weren't normal, because I think it's totally normal to start a business or do something new and then have a feeling of being scared. And I think as humans, like whenever we step out of our comfort zone, we're actually programmed to want to go back to being safe. But this quality is actually what keeps us where we are in life, right? It keeps us inside of our comfort zone. And I truly believe that everything that's great happens when we step outside of that comfort zone. So I want to reassure you that you are scared. There is unknowns, but Now we're going to give the solution. What we have for you is very well laid out. We have airtight systems that are proven to work. Now here comes your confidence. I'm one of the top earning teams in this company. You're going to have access to incredible leadership and systems, and I'm going to be with you every step of the way. And so although it's scary, I don't know your situation, but I felt scared, and I was more scared to stay in the same spot. I think life is just about choosing your hards, and this hard gave me the opportunity to step into a better life where just staying scared did not, and something like that, someone's going to listen to that. And that's like that little boost of motivation, or, a little push that they need. Okay. Now, let's do another one. I don't have the money. Let's record this again, because I know there's a lot of people that want to do this one. So I don't have the money. Okay, Brenda, I know that you said you really wanted to get started, but you don't have the money. So I just want to put this in your mind. Okay. When I started, I didn't have the money either. I was working 60 hours a week. I was working 6 days a week. I was literally struggling every single month. Every month I had more month than money. And one day I just got to this point where I realized, although I was doing all the things that I was taught to do, my situation wasn't changing. So I knew I had to do something different. I invested $149 I did not have into a business that could potentially change my situations, and then be real with people. But I didn't join this to say I was going to quit it next week. If you're going to invest money that you don't have, make sure that you're committed to me. And as your sponsor, I'm going to help you make that back with our first Foreign a Friend bonus. Is this something that would benefit you? How long has money been this tight? Do you guys see, like, I'm not preaching, and I'm not like trying to convince somebody to buy something. I'm literally talking to their point of view. Okay. I'm scared of what my parents or my boyfriend's going to say. I love this one. Okay. Listen, this is another good one for recording. I'm scared of what my parents or my boyfriend or my friends are going to say. Listen, Cheryl, I felt the same way. Like, I had so many people judge me when I started this business, but here's what I realized. Okay. Whether these people agreed with what I was doing or not, my bills still kept coming in. I still had situations where I wanted to be home with my kid, but I couldn't, because I had to go to the job I hated to pay for somebody else to raise him. So one day I just said, if I'm going to listen to someone's opinions, it better not be the one that's going to halt me from having a better life. Here's the deal. Your mom, brother, boyfriend, sisters, best friends don't have to do this business with you. We show you how to do it on social media. There's over 8 billion people on this planet. In fact, why don't you give them a bag of your coffee and let them try it for free? But in the meantime, I'm going to go show you how to grow your following. Do you see how we're offering solutions? Do you see how I'm confident with that? Okay. Hearing me talk, do you feel that it's a level of confidence, right? You're like, okay, I trust what she's saying to me. Like, I know she's going to be here to help me, especially if you haven't made any money yet. Yeah. Okay, here's a great question. I have a lot of people ask how much I make doing this, and this is where I'm stuck. Great question. Thank you for asking this. I remember people used to ask me this at the beginning of my business. Okay. How much have you made? How much have you made right at the beginning? And you know what? At the beginning, I would say, you know what? I just started my business. I am literally brand new, but I just partnered with one of the top teams. So I'm going through the most incredible systems. And my goal is to complete my first Foreign a Friend, which is one of our ways we get paid, weekly bonus by the end of next week. I want to do it in my first 7 days. And you guys, that's going to make me a debt-free business. That's going to be $150 just weekly alone in bonuses, not even including commissions. That's where I'm going. Okay. But the second thing about this is the most important. After my first month in business, where my first month was about $30 a paycheck, like my first month was about $30. After my first month, nobody asked me how much I was making. Do you know why? Do you know why people never asked me again how much I was making? Because I showed up at the level that I wanted to be at. I showed up like I knew I was going. Okay, guys, here's the deal. Okay. I'm going to tell you this. On the 28th, there's going to be some stuff announced. Okay. On the 1st, there's going to be some stuff announced. Bonuses, ruby bonuses, emerald bonuses, diamond bonuses, bigger than ever before. Okay. So if you haven't hit ruby, emerald, diamond, you need to position yourself as if you are that. And so when I was pushing to diamonds as a distributor, I was showing up as a diamond. I was like, okay, think about it this way. How would you post on your social media if you had 1 million followers? You would be posting like you had 1 million followers. So how would you show up in a business if you were making 500 a month, 1,000 a month, 2,000 a month, 10,000 a month? You'd probably be, taking some good pictures. You'd probably be consistent. You'd probably be speaking with a level of confidence. You'd probably be having conversations. I started showing up at the level I wanted to be for me to become that. But on the way, people already were like, I thought you were a diamond by the time I went diamond, because I was like showing up like that. I was doing trainings for my team as an executive where nobody would show up. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll just record it and then post it later. I didn't care. Like, show up as you want to be. So if somebody's asking you all the time what type of money you're making, that tells me two things. One, you have to vision, right? Who here has gone to school? Anybody here gone to university? Anybody? Okay. Degree, college, anything? Okay. Okay. The confidence of like, hey, Brenda, you're doing your degree in science. I have no idea. Let's just say it's your degree in science. You're graduating in 4 years. And she's like, yeah, I'm graduating in 4 years with my degree in science. The confidence that you have that you don't know what those next 4 years look like, but you're graduating in 4 years needs to be the same confidence you have with your business. Straight up. When you're confident, people don't ask. And if they do ask, don't lie. Give them vision to where you're going. I'm almost a ruby. I'm almost an emerald. I'm almost a diamond. Dude, I was starting my business and I was like, I'm almost a diamond leader. I just need 13 more people on my team. And at the time we needed 14. So I was like, I'm almost there. I just need 13 more people. But I showed up loudly, consistently.
And you knew where you were going.
I knew
she
where I
had
was
the
going.
diamond chart out. She knew
Yes.
she needed 13 more people. She wasn't
Yes.
like, I hope I get there one day. She had it in front of her and was like, the next 13 people that join my team, we're going diamond together.
Yes.
So this is what we're doing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you guys, I think like, I think that and this is the last, unless you guys have any more questions, fire any more questions into the chat. But the last thing I want to say is like, people will take your business seriously when you take your business seriously. This is like the biggest tip I can give you. Some of us are waiting to go diamond so we can start showing up as a diamond, whereas I don't think you should wait for anybody anymore. Dude, I'm telling you right now, with what's coming into this in the new year, on the 28th, I hope you guys have your alarm set for what Mark's coming out with. On the 1st, when these bonuses launch, I hope that you know exactly where you're going. I hope you have the ruby chart out. I hope you have the emerald chart out. I hope you have the diamond chart out. Okay. Now, last thing I say is like starting the 28th, our team is going to be rolling out daily power hours because, right, it's Christmas. We should all be chilling, right? Anybody in the weird, like, like half Christmas, half New Year's? It's like, what day is it? I don't know. I'm eating cookies for breakfast and like falling asleep at 6 p.m. Anyways, it's game on. Okay. Starting on the 28th. So what do you need to do to prepare before then? I'm going to give you some tips. If you are in to cross every one of these off your list, I want you to put I am in. Okay. And I want you to write these down. This is your homework. Okay. I am in. If you are in, I am in. Okay. In 2022, if we want to move to 2023 and have different, we got to move different. Okay. Number one, you have to know where you're going. Okay. First thing, you have to know where you're going. If you don't know what your goal is, you're planning to fail. Is it ruby? Is it emerald? Is it diamond? Is it 4-in-1? Is it income? Are you in? Okay. Second thing, go through the training. It's pinned in the top of the Diamond Tribe team page. The link tree with the launch video and swiping through, go through it, get in the Telegram channels, make sure anybody on your team with the heartbeat is in there, because that's where I will be spending my time come January 28th. Okay. The third thing, get organized for yourself for what's about to come. So what you could do between now and then is create a list of people you've previously had conversations with. Now, a couple ways to do that. Searching keywords in your messenger. Okay. Words like cleanse, gummies, things that you've said that you can pull up in Messenger and physically write people's names down. Now, anybody that uses the Make Money from Home page, if you just literally in boards in Messenger, right? So if I were to open up Messenger, I'll just show you this right now. And then I were to search at the very top MMFH link right at the top there. I literally just, I know you guys can't probably see that. I just searched the link and then click see more. Okay, so I just clicked the link of the Make Money from homepage. This is every single person I've ever sent to that page.
Awesome.
Okay, so I am making a list. Hear me when I say this. I'm trying to tell you something very important here. I feel like some of you are sleeping on it. Make a list of every single person that you've invited in there. Just wait on it. Maybe go interact with their page a little bit. Make the list. Products, go find the products that you've talked about. Go make the list. Going into 2023, get your book out. Have that list made every single day. New conversations. The more conversations you have, the better you're going to get at closing. Remember, as you close, you're literally talking to them. You're asking them questions. You're not spewing scripts. You're qualifying these people for what they want, right? Now, last thing that I'm going to offer for you guys, because listen, I've just had this little fire lit inside of me lately. I don't know if you guys can tell, probably not, because I've been a little quiet the last 2 days. It's Christmas, but I'm a little bit fired up. And listen, when I get fired up, like, you know what time it is. And so I'm ready to run into 2023. I hope you all come with me. I hope that you guys are all about to run with us. If you're not, that's cool. We love you, but we are running. For some reason, it's clicked in me, like, guys, how crazy is it? The state of the world that we live in, we have the ability to literally make money from our phone. Okay. We have the ability to grow our own paycheck. We do. And if you are sitting here saying to yourself, well, I can't do it, or I'm not worthy enough, or I'm not having success, you need to know that you have the power to change it, because yes, you do. You do. Like, we are all, if you threw all of us into a fire, we would all disintegrate the same. Like, we are all one. None of us is better than the next. We all are the same. Every single skill you can learn. But it's just, are you willing to take the time to learn the skill, to set yourself up for success, to show up to the calls, to get disciplined, to do that one more host to post, to perfect that, conversation one more, get yourself in the headspace to win. Okay. Now, last thing I want to say before I pass it off to Krista to wrap us up. Sorry. If any of you need help with conversations, okay, and you're like, I want to see a conversation live in action, here's what I'm going to offer to every single person, okay? I'm going to put my phone number in the chat. Actually, I'll put it in our team page after, or if you don't have it, just message me. If you have a potential distributor, okay, that has watched the video in the Make Money from homepage, and you want me to help you take them from interested to the close, I want you to message me. We're going to get in a 3-way chat on Telegram, and I'm going to help you help them close. You're going to see exactly how I do it. Okay. You're going to give me a heads up. You're going to say, Jack, I'm going to be getting this person in the chat with you, and you're going to watch me take 10 minutes and close it up. Okay. We're going to help you build your chart, build your promotion, but just get ready for 223, because some great things are coming. We're so excited. Anything you want to say to wrap up?
Is let yourself be yourself. Let yourself be yourself. Again, it's going to boost your confidence. Know that you are enough, that who you are is actually somebody so incredible and valuable, and you have so much value to offer. And if you feel stuck in who you are, ask yourself, what can I do to bring value to somebody today? And take that one action. Because again, action is going to get you results, which is going to build your belief. Belief, action, results. Belief, action, results. It goes in a circle, right? So do the training, get the belief, take some action, add some value, see your results. It's going to, again, like, just keep on growing your believe-o-meter. But I love you guys. I'm super excited, and I can't wait to see everything we do in 2023.
It's going to be fun, you guys. And go through the training tonight. I'm telling you, go through every single thing. Every single thing. If you have questions around it, message us. It's linked at the top of our team page. It's a milkshake link. So just go through it. Okay. So love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Really excited for the 28th. Mark your calendars. We'll probably do some power hours while we're here in Cabo. We're going to do some product training. We're going to have lots of good stuff that we do that will be rolling out in the next couple of days. So anyways, happy Boxing Day. I love you guys. Thanks for coming on. We'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.